Today I'm going to do the front rotors, pads, and calipers on my 2005 F250. On the back I didn't replace the calipers, and then when I drove it home, one of the caliper pistons cracked in half, so might as well replace the calipers if you have quite a few miles on it, just in case, because it kind of dicked my rotor and I had to do all that stuff. So they're not too expensive. There's a $50 core on each one from Ford, and then they're like $100 a piece. So here's the caliper for the rear that got messed up. You can see that the piston cracked in half. When I compressed the pistons, there's no signs of any damage. I made it halfway home, and then it kind of started feeling like it was lugging. So when I got home, didn't drive it, and then I got some new calipers, and found out when I pulled this caliper off of the driver's side rear, this fell off, and it's just destroyed. So yeah, might as well replace your calipers when you do your pads. Alright, first thing you're going to do, I use a paper towel so I don't scratch my wheels, and you're going to pop the hubcap. There's two tabs, one on each side. You just have to break it loose. And depending on if you're using impact, electric, air, whatever, or if you're doing it by hand. If you're doing it by hand, break these loose before you jack the truck up. I'm going to drag the truck up first because I'm using a electric impact, so I'll just impact them off. It's a 21 millimeter, and we'll go from there. Once I get that off, I'll pull the caliper and everything. I'll grab a zip tie and get that all ready to put the new slotted and drilled rotors, new pads, and new calipers on. Alright, now you see the caliper right here. I'm going to pull the caliper and then probably either hang it up here, or I'll zip tie it to the coil. Okay, so the caliper to caliper bracket is a 16 millimeter bolt, and the caliper bracket to the knuckle is a 21. So let's undo this. Sometimes that just spins. You'll have to hold it with your finger, or if it's spinning really bunch, then you'll have to actually get a wrench on there. Both those came out pretty easily. Okay, you got the two 16 millimeter bolts out. Now just use a pry bar, pry the caliper off of the caliper bracket. And grab your zip tie, just loop her through the coil. It has to be nice and tight. Your caliper strung up so the brake line is not all kinked or anything, or hanging on the caliper. I've seen a lot of people that do this, just let the caliper hang down. Then this line gets stretched and sometimes it'll leak or fail later. Alright, so you're going to be loosening these 21s. So I got a big breaker bar. And without a big breaker bar, they're a pretty big pain. Loosen the 21s all the way. And look, you can see like the other piston. I'll show you guys. But this piston on this caliper is also cracked too. So if I were to reuse this caliper, it would have failed as well. Okay, and the pads don't look horrible. They still have a little bit of material on them. I'm not going to reuse them, but they don't look horrible. Now the rotor just comes straight off. And now you're ready for assembly. So let me go grab the other new rotor. I get a paper towel and some brake cleaner. Just spray the rotor, wipe off any excess oil, like packing oil. See it right there. And we'll get the front after it's already on, so you just slip her back on. Spray it, give it a wipe, get all that crud off of there, and now I could put this back on. I'm gonna take these apart. There's a pin in here. Here, I'll show you, and they need lubrication. And see how they're hard to move because they haven't been lubed since probably the truck was built. So I'm going to clean these up and make them all nice and smooth to slide back and forth for the pads and everything, so there's no hang up. So now just hit these with some brake cleaner. Wipe all the old crud off. Okay, nice and clean. Now do the holes. And you could just stick a screwdriver with the paper or flathead. Okay, just put some grease on these things. You don't need too much, you just need enough to lubricate them. And then just pop them in. You want to seat that little lip right on the see, and look how nice and smooth they move now compared to how they were. Just wipe off the excess grease. You want to put the tabs in, so this goes like so. These tabs stick up like so. They just clip right in, and you have to put this pad on the back in before you bolt it on. So you can stick this one in first. Okay, stick that pad in first, and then you can bolt the caliper bracket on. If you stick it on, bolt the caliper bracket on before, the pad won't be able to go in. And these bolts torque down to 165 foot-pounds. Okay, now do the other pad. make sure they're to the top. Just slide this one in as well. Okay, now you have the pads in there. You can put the new, here's the OE caliper to replace. I'll show you the cracked piston on this one as well. And I'm going to put some caliper glue on, a little bit on the pistons and a little bit on the hand tight. I'm pretty big, I'm 6'8", so you want to you have to know the feeling of the torque on it.
Yeah.
14.
That fucker lifted it up.
They do it all the time. It's Harbor Freight, China City. Just break the banjo bolt on the caliper loose, 14 mil. Pull this little plug out. Make sure you don't drop the copper washers, you're going to need them. Fuck. Should have had a fucking thing. And then just have the copper washers, stick her on there. Can you give me a pan, bud?
Hurry up, bud. You're gonna lose all your brake fluid.
There's no washer on this top one. There's not, and I didn't lose it.
The caliper didn't come with new ones?
No. Unless it's aluminum. And just doing it good and tight.